Hey Grace Life, we just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you and to celebrate with you. As many of you know, our VBS is coming up next week starting June 19th. And as of this moment, we have over 200 kids registered and excited for our Vacation Bible School. This is such a neat opportunity, as we've talked about, to open up our doors and to let the community know that we as a church are here for them, and most importantly, an opportunity for us to take the message of the gospel to the little ones around us. And so we're so excited for what that represents, those families that those kids represent. But the coolest part is that it doesn't just stop with VBS. And in fact, God has provided another opportunity for us to open our doors and to share the gospel to those around us this summer. At the end of Vacation Bible School, each family, and most importantly, each kid, is going to get an invitation welcoming them back to our Grace Life Kids Summer Program starting July 9th that's going to take place during our Sunday services. You know, our kids have a lot of questions, and that's what VBS and Grace Life Kids, they all exist for the same reason, and that's to answer their questions truthfully with what God says is true. And so our Grace Life Kids Summer Program is simply going to build on what VBS has already done by continuing to answer the question of what is truth. And most importantly, what does God say is true? What does God say is true about His world? And most importantly, what does God say is true about us? You know, kids have a lot of questions, if you haven't noticed. Just the other week, I was working with our kindergartners and first graders here during our Journey program, and one kindergartner raised his hand and he said, "Mr. Ryan, is it enough just to believe that Jesus existed in order to go to heaven and to be saved? Or do I need to believe that He died on the cross to pay the penalty for my sins and rose from the grave 3 days later?" And it took me a second. I had to stop, not because I didn't know the answer, but because I couldn't believe that this kindergartner had asked that question. But that's the truth. Our kids have a lot of questions and they're looking for answers. And that's what VBS and our Grace Life Kids Summer Program is all about. Our Grace Life Kids Summer Program is going to take place on Sunday mornings, like I said, from July 9th to August 27th. And we are just asking and praying for God to send the laborers to volunteer and to be willing just to answer kids' questions. It doesn't mean that you have to be up on stage teaching or anything like that. There's plenty of room, whether that's just assisting or maybe leading a small group or maybe leading games. And maybe God does call you to teach, but we just want to be faithful to continuing to invest in the next generation and for God to use us to grow them and for God to use opportunities like this to grow us as well. And so we hope you'll choose to participate in that. There's multiple ways you can serve, but the easiest way to do it is to go to the gracelifecc.org website or the Church Center app. Hopefully you're used to hearing these things by now. Click on the Grace Life Kids Summer Program volunteer. And the best part is you can sign up for whatever weeks work for you. Whatever weeks you're in town, we would love to have you do that. We are praying for God to send 10 volunteers in order to make this possible. And we know that we serve a God who is faithful and keeps His promises. And so we know that He will do just that. So if you're one of the 10 that God has called to do this, we would love for you to join us. Again, go to the website or Church Center app. Go ahead and click volunteer, and we can't wait to see you for our Grace Life Kids Summer Program.